She walked down the aisle in white. But she wasn't walking toward love. She was walking straight into a lie. On the morning of her wedding, a man pulled her aside and whispered 4 words. Get in the trunk. Inside that car, Vanessa discovered the truth. Her fiancé wasn't just cheating. He was already married for 9 years. And the lies, they didn't stop there, went all the way to the top. This wedding wasn't about love. It was about power, corruption, and a choice that would destroy a family forever. The morning air in Miami is hot and humid, but Vanessa Coleman's sweat isn't from the air. She's sweating from fear. Her bridal dress, the lace and white silk held by men's hands, has transformed her body into a constricting cage, and her heart beats as if trapped somewhere. The door opened. The man who entered was Marcus. Jenkins isn't just his father's chauffeur. He's much more than that. He's a man who served the Coleman family for 15 years. He's the man who knows the spare keys, the house codes, the secret midnight meetings, the truth about who Senator Coleman really is. When Marcus looked at Vanessa, something flashed in his eyes. Danger. Vanessa, he whispered, get in the car. Right now. Vanessa's tongue was dry. Why? She asked, but her voice cracked, as if she were suffocating under the weight of the wedding dress. Marcus moved closer. His hands trembled. This trembling frightened him more than anything else. Please, Vanessa said, don't ask me to explain it here. Not yet, Marcus said. Just trust me. But what is trust? Vanessa sits outdoors, gazing at her father's most expensive car, a Mercedes. The car that shines through the Miami night sky. The one he drives everywhere. Inside, stylists arrange the flowers. Music plays. Guests arrive. They prepare to head to the church. And she, dressed like a bride, will hide in a trunk because Marcus's eyes never lie. Vanessa, Marcus insisted, his voice very low, very controlled. Your fiancé will be in this car in half an hour. He thinks he's alone. He thinks he's going to win today. If you go into that church without seeing this reality, you'll be marrying a stranger. Her heart had beaten once or twice. Laughter, footsteps, and the call, the wedding dress is ready, echoed throughout the house. It felt like just another happy morning. Vanessa's fingers clutched tightly to the bouquet of rosy roses. Marcus, Vanessa whispered, you scare me so much. Marcus's voice trembled. Because I can't protect you from something you can't see. He reached into his pocket, pulled out a key ring. Click. The car trunk opened. Vanessa approached the car with heavy steps. The trunk was dark and cool. Clean leather, gasoline, and something else. Fear. No, she whispered. I can't. Marcus. He was looking for a joke, looking for something. There was nothing. Just urgency. Just a man describing the decision he made rather than lose her. Vanessa has climbed inside the trunk. Her wedding dress, crumpled like a cloud, fills the empty space. Her knees are awkwardly bent. The beads on her veil are caught on something. Marcus is bent over, his face visible in the opening. I'm sorry, he said. But you must do what those who hear without seeing say. The box is closed. Darkness. Just darkness and Vanessa's heart beating loudly. Footsteps outside. The door opens. Welcome, whispers follow. The sound of a shoe on the gravel. Then the driver's door opens. Vanessa holds her breath. A voice, a familiar voice. The voice of her fiancé, Gregory Hayes. Vanessa has lost her temper and her hunger. Gregory, whom she'd known for 3 years. Good morning, Marcus, Gregory said casually. Marcus replied, rather calmly. Gregory chuckled. Man, today's the day. Finally, said Marcus. Vanessa listened in the darkness, her heart pounding. Gregory's voice had changed. He was no longer that person. He was someone else. From today onwards, Gregory said, no one can say anything to me. Understood? Yes, sir, said Marcus. Vanessa froze when Gregory's phone rang. She heard some words. To the usual place, Gregory said. We have to go. Marcus's voice had changed. It was a little colder. Of course, sir. The car had started moving. Vanessa, trapped in the trunk in the darkness, on her own wedding morning, didn't know what Gregory meant. The usual place. The same place. These were words she had never heard before. And suddenly, she realized she didn't know her fiancé as well as she thought. The car sped up. Vanessa was unprotected, trapped, forced to listen. Gregory's phone rang again. Did you do what I told you to do? A woman said, her voice ringing in Vanessa's ear. The sound of a whirling dervish echoed. Gregory's tone changed. It was harsher. "I need your patience." "Patience?" the woman said, her voice rising. "Isn't today the time you mentioned? Isn't today what you said?" Vanessa's stomach clenched. "Who is this woman?" "We'll talk about this later," Gregory said, his voice lowered. "Yes, we'll talk," the woman said, her voice losing its sharpness and turning to sadness. "Because I don't have much time left, Gregory. The doctor said so." The phone hung up. Vanessa trembled in the darkness. Doctor, patient, another woman. The combination of these words formed a story that existed within Vanessa, a story she knew wasn't there. The car stopped. The door opened. Vanessa heard Gregory get out of the car. Footsteps, then silence. A very long silence. The trunk lid suddenly opened. The light flashed across Vanessa's eyes. Marcus's face is visible. Anxious, tense. "Get out," Marcus said. "But be quiet." Vanessa has gone outside. Her wedding dress looks tattered. There's dust on it. Her eye makeup is smudged. The place she looks at is a quiet, ordinary neighborhood. Small houses, children's toys on the grass. This is the complete opposite of her own world, Vanessa whispered. "Reality," Marcus said. "Down the street," he pointed, "is the house with the blue shutters. Gregory has been coming here for 4 years. Vanessa felt as if her legs belonged to someone else. The person dragging her wedding dress behind her felt like an animal, crawling behind the shadows. And then, the moment she saw him, everything changed. Gregory was standing at the door of the house. The door opened. A woman came out. A woman with chestnut-colored skin, her natural hair tied back, looking dejected and worn down by illness. A 6-year-old girl ran after her. "Daddy!" the little girl shouted. Gregory's face softened. He took her in his arms as if the world belonged to her. He kissed her on the forehead. She wrapped her arms around him. Gregory kissed her cheek. And at that moment, Vanessa Coleman felt something inside him die silently. Not faith, not trust. He simply understood that the pain of the truth was deeper than what he was saying. Darren isn't just lying. Gregory is using him. He's using his whole family. Malik, that is Marcus, supported him by holding him by the elbow, Vanessa whispered. "He's taller than you," Marcus said quietly. Vanessa returned. All the moments hidden in the darkness suddenly came alive. The late-night phone calls, her being sweaty when she came back, her saying, "It's all right, darling. I have no secrets." "It's all a lie. Every word is a lie," Vanessa whispered. Marcus's jaw tightened. Not to everyone yet, but to the right person. The door opened. The woman stepped outside. She saw Vanessa. Her eyes widened. "Yes," the woman said softly. "Do you need help?" Vanessa swallowed. "My name is Vanessa," she began. "Today is my wedding day, and I am the one about to marry the man who just walked into your house." The woman's face changed. Doubt, then realization. Tears welled up in her eyes. "My name is Jasmine," she said in a trembling voice. Jasmine Hayes, his wife. Although some things weren't explicitly stated, behavior spoke volumes. People used the same words, but they conveyed different meanings. This contradiction became more apparent over time. The tension in the atmosphere changed the tone of conversations. No one wanted to name this change, but everyone was aware of it. This awareness affected the shape of relationships. Some boundaries had been silently crossed, leaving only the consequences. And these consequences couldn't be ignored. Jasmine's house felt much smaller than Vanessa's own world, but much fuller. The walls were covered with drawings of the child. A magnet on the refrigerator. Flowers in the kitchen, wilting but still well-maintained. The house was a place filled with love by a woman, but at the same time it smelled like a prison where a liar constantly kept secrets. Vanessa is sitting on the edge of the sofa. The hem of her wedding dress is spread out on the floor. The pink and white lace now looks like a worthless piece of fabric. Jasmine sits opposite her, brewing tea. Vanessa hadn't asked for tea, but Jasmine made it. Because women in grief make tea, so that they can feel a little normal. Marcus stands outside in front of the door. He waits. He watches. He protects, Jasmine asked, her voice hoarse. Vanessa nodded. "A few hours." Jasmine was thought to be laughing, but the laugh was hollow. "A few hours. I've known for 9 years," Vanessa gasped. 9 years. 9 years before the marriage began. 9 years before Gregory knew her. Vanessa asked, "How is that possible?" Jasmine's eyes were fixed on the window. Outside, far away, the church bells were about to ring. It was still getting late. The guests were still waiting. Her father hadn't heard from her. Her mother was worried. And Vanessa Monroe wasn't where she was expected to be. By chance, Jasmine said. I found a receipt in Gregory's wallet. It was for the child's school supplies, a photo of a student ID, the name Isabella, our Isabella. Vanessa's stomach clenched. The little girl, Isabella. Isabella running, calling out, "Daddy!" Jasmine said, her voice trembling. I asked him, and at first he lied. But I'm a very stubborn woman, Vanessa. A man who lies will eventually tell the truth, because very few people can live 2 lives for 9 years. Vanessa clutched her wedding dress tightly. Why didn't you leave? Jasmine's smile is tinged with sadness. Separating? Vanessa, we're legally married. Gregory officially married me 2 years ago. Page 1, signature, rings. Legally, we're married. But Gregory is also engaged to you. Imagine he's wearing 2 engagement rings. Vanessa was silent. Absolutely silent, because she had nothing to do. Jasmine's, what he's describing isn't just betrayal. It's a systematic lie. A planned deception, Vanessa asked to win her final attempt. Jasmine's eyes meet Vanessa's. I got sick. Cancer. The doctor said a year. Maybe 2. I couldn't take care of Isabella myself when she wasn't around. I was working, but a girl needs a father. You know, I don't want to say this after she's felt it. I didn't want to lose Gregory. I just wanted him to come back to me one day when he woke up. Vanessa's eyes filled with tears. Being broken isn't easier than saying you're broken. But in Italy, Jasmine said, I have a therapist. I'm undergoing treatment. Maybe there's a chance. Maybe I'll live longer. And Gregory didn't know that. Because I can't talk to him. Vanessa's heart is strangely broken. 2 women, ruined by the same man, sit in the same room. They are not enemies. They are victims, Vanessa asked. Jasmine's jaw tightened. He has to tell the truth. But just telling it isn't enough. I have to tell everyone what he told me, Vanessa asked. To everyone, Jasmine said, her gaze dark and sharp. Your senator father's crimes. A man who used his name for your career plans. If we're going to do this, we have to dismantle the whole structure. Otherwise, Gregory will get away with it anyway. Vanessa's breathing changed. My father? Yes, Jasmine said. Gregory is Senator Coleman's personal lawyer. He said that for the past 2 years, the senator has been signing off on shady financial transactions in a construction project in Miami. He used the senator's name, the senator's money, the senator's power. But that money will protect him, because your father is involved too. Vanessa's whole world has come to a standstill as she turns into a fox. Gregory isn't just an actor. There's a bigger system. There's her father. Outside, Marcus knocked on the door. 3 times quietly, Mark. Time flies, Jasmine said. The church must be pressed for time. Whether he gets the news or not, the senator will be worried. Vanessa has risen to her feet. The wedding dress has slowly shifted. Pink and white now look like a battlefield. Vanessa stands in front of the mirror, gazing at her own face. The same face, but another woman. A crushed woman. A wise woman. Marcus, Jasmine said. Do you trust him? Vanessa, it's a glance at Marcus. The driver stands at the door of the house, loyal and silent. Yes, Vanessa said. I trust him. Then, Jasmine said, tell him to help us too. Gregory is going into that church today, but we need to be there as well. Vanessa's chest rose and fell. How many people will know? Enough, Jasmine said. Senator Coleman, the Attorney General, the press, social media. Gregory won't wait. If we get this right, nobody will be prepared. Vanessa thought for a moment about her father. Senator Coleman has a clean reputation. He has a measured voice. But senators have secrets. So do corporations. So do families. Marcus entered through the door. We must leave immediately, he said. Gregory is getting ready to leave the house. He's heading to the church. Jasmine. He held Isabella in his arms. The child fell asleep, sleeping like an angel. What she didn't know was that her father would be very busy today. Vanessa looked at Jasmine, a woman who had lived for 9 years. She had prepared for this moment knowingly. She had planned everything. She had prepared everything. Okay, said Vanessa. Let's do it. When the cars were ready, Vanessa didn't look back. Her old life left behind, her wedding dress now torn, salt in her veil. 3 cars follow each other on the streets of Miami. Vanessa's father's car is a sedan. Jasmine's car is a Civic. Marcus acts as a go-between, communicating between the vehicles, relaying messages and carrying information. They head towards the church. Almost there. The doors are open. Music is playing. The guests are waiting. Senator Coleman takes his seat with a crooked smile. He makes a ham sound. Vanessa's mother is nervous. Wrinkled dress, uneasy look. Gregory is at the front. In his tuxedo, he's smiling. The world acts as if it belongs to him. Just like a commander in a battle. The doors open. The music intensifies. All eyes are fixed on the end of the corridors. But no one sees Vanessa. Because Vanessa has begun waiting for her. Signal. Silently. Patiently. And the signal at the doors will come from Marcus. Senator Coleman returns to see his daughter. His smile fades. For the first time, he looks a little worried. Where is his daughter? Gregory is dizzying. He's looking in the mirror. He's putting on a smile. Again. So he's starting to lose control. Because the bride is waiting for his signal. And the sign comes from the door. Marcus quietly said something to the church official. Well, a grumpy headmaster made a gesture to the clerk. The music stopped. The bells rang. Everyone turned around. Vanessa doesn't come through the hallway. Instead, the door opens from behind, and Jasmine, holding Isabella's hand, enters the entire church. Gregory's face turns white. He becomes paralyzed. He freezes, because this is the end of 9 years. Because Jasmine knows she's been acting beautifully. 9 years have taught a man nothing, not even a lie. Jasmine calmly takes Isabella's hand and walks to the front. I object, he says. No need to raise his voice. A quiet, sharp, decisive tone. This man is already married. The church shakes. Hours pass with shouts. Phones are answered. Cameras start rolling. Gregory tries to stand up. But Isabella sees him. And the child knows. The child always knows. Isabella whispers, surprised. Gregory's heart breaks. But Vanessa doesn't yet. Vanessa is still in the hallway. Ready, waiting. And Marcus lowers his head, gesturing towards Vanessa. Vanessa walks down the aisle. But not as a bride. As a witness. She holds the documents. Her face is expressionless, her eyes sharp. Because it's not just the betrayal that's being revealed. It's the betrayals of a child, 2 women, a family that are coming to light. Senator Coleman stands frozen in place. He sees his daughter in her wedding dress, but she's walking down the aisle, but with an angry face, but with documents in her hand. Vanessa approaches the edge of the stands. Every eye is on her. Every camera is recording her. The phone rings. The reporter turns to the news story. Vanessa announces. Her voice is clear, cold, and controlled. This wedding concludes here. Gregory Hayes is the legal husband of Jasmine Hayes. This has been for 9 years, and this is their daughter, Isabella. The church explodes. Loud noise. People rise to their feet. Senator Coleman's face turns red. Lace dresses rustle. Flowers fall to the ground. Gregory gets up. But where should he go? There's no way out. No control. Just reality. Vanessa raises the documents. These documents, she continues, have been forwarded to the district attorney's office. Gregory Hayes signed off on expenses to launder money for Senator Coleman. And Senator Coleman? Well, my father was involved in these transactions. Senator Coleman's expression changes, anger, shock, fear, because his secrets are now out in the open. The press was buzzing. There was a commotion in the church. The prosecutor's assistants and structural investigators had arrived. Because Marcus had recorded everything. He had prepared all the evidence, in a way that only a driver could have done. Gregory's knees were trembling. Jasmine, holding her daughter in her arms, remained silent. But her eyes held triumph. For 9 years had finally come to an end. A door to truth had opened. Vanessa looks at her father. Senator Coleman looks at his daughter. A moment of silence between them. A father who doesn't understand. A father who loves success but has lost his ethics. Coleman whispers to Vanessa. Vanessa replies. The police enter through the door, quickly, because this is no longer just a wedding scandal. This is an investigation, a case, a headline, a news story. Gregory is being held. Jasmine is holding her daughter tightly. Vanessa is walking out of the hallway. Outside, it's getting sun. The light in Miami is very intense right now. Very vibrant, very real. Marcus approaches his car. You did it, he says quietly. Yes, says Vanessa. I did. The wedding dress is now a war dress. And Vanessa Coleman is no longer just a bride. She is a witness, a victim. But she is also now a savior for another victim. Because 9 years in prison were broken in an instant. And Isabella is just a child. But she knows the truth about her father. Because the truth doesn't remain hidden in the dark. People know now. Newspapers are running headlines like, Senator's lawyer charged with illegal money laundering, wedding day scandal, secret family revealed, and Vanessa. Coleman's bold move. Vanessa doesn't read any of this. Because she still can't think straight. Because her life has changed completely in a single day. The wedding dress is undone. The engagement ring is removed. Her father is talking to lawyers. The church is no longer sacred. She is no longer a bride. But she's looking at Jasmine. She's holding Isabella. Because Vanessa knows that the victim who paid the price for 9 years isn't just Vanessa. There's someone else. And that other person can now be spoken to. Marcus, whose real name is Malik, looks at Vanessa. What happens next? He asks. Vanessa is wrapped in her wedding dress. Then I'm alive, she replies, because this is the price of passing through the gate of truth. Stubborn, heavy, but pure. And Vanessa. In the Miami light, Coleman gets into the car, smiling slightly. Marcus is beside him. Jasmine is with him. The future is still uncertain, but the reality is now visible. As events unfolded, the usual reactions disappeared. Expected behaviors gave way to cautious actions. This change indicated that the process was not normal. The reasons behind the decisions were unclear. This uncertainty eroded trust. People spoke less, but listened more attentively. Every detail became important. This attention changed the course of events. And now there was no turning back. 3 weeks later, at the prosecutor's office, Vanessa was wearing a gray suit, not a wedding dress. A battle suit. Her lawyer, David Harrison, her father's former lawyer, stood beside her. It was strange. Her father had sent the lawyer who had worked against him. Her father doesn't call anymore. He doesn't speak anymore. Senator Coleman is silent. A silent man, condemned to silence. Jasmine sat in the seat next to her, combing Isabella's hair, watching Vanessa. This was the day she had waited 9 years for. To be here now. The prosecutor had placed the files on his desk and looked up. The charges against Gregory Hayes are clear, said the prosecutor. A tall woman with glasses tilted down, her voice one that spoke without any surprise. Forgery of signatures, complicity in money laundering, tax evasion, and collaboration with Senator Coleman. Vanessa's heart pounded harder. Her father. Not father anymore. The senator, Senator Coleman. Senator Coleman's case was kept separate, the prosecutor said. But your documents show that his is also complicated. Especially these documents. The documents were laid on the table. Screenshots taken from Vanessa's phone. Gregory's messages to Senator Coleman. It was clean money. The boss is pleased. The door opened. Door, money, power. Gregory Hayes used Senator Coleman's influence to launder illicit funds in a construction project in Miami. He channeled these funds through the senator's company, and Senator Coleman knew about it. He even encouraged it. Jasmine's eyes welled up with tears. But she didn't cry. 9 years is enough time for a woman to shed enough tears. Now she was just listening to the voice of justice that was expected. Vanessa. Coleman's possession of these documents is what opened this case, the prosecutor said, glancing at Vanessa. It's not an easy decision. To bring down her father. Vanessa has never spoken. She has no words to say. Being Senator Coleman's daughter is no longer an honor. She is now a witness, a victim. Gregory Hayes will be held in a cell, said the prosecutor. Senator Coleman has an arrest warrant. But only for now. Not yet, that word is exactly right. Not yet arrested. Not yet wanted. Not yet surrendered. Vanessa's phone vibrated. News. Senator Coleman. Arrest warrant issued. The headline was spreading throughout Miami. The entrance has been cleared. The press is in the building. Cameras are rolling. Reporter, microphone. Vanessa Coleman, tell me, what do you feel about your father? Vanessa didn't respond. David Harrison, her lawyer, defending her, said, no comment. But the voice came out. Social media exploded. All of Miami was talking. The senator's daughter, the daughter who was rebelling inside. When they went outside, Jasmine held Vanessa's arm. Thank you, Jasmine said, her eyes filled with tears but her voice strong. After waiting 9 years, you made this possible. Vanessa looks at Jasmine. That woman was sick, but strong enough to live as the wife of a liar. Jesus, how strong this woman is. Look after Isabella, Vanessa said. Protect her. Gregory can't use her anymore. Nobody can use her. Jasmine nodded. Yes, I will. From now on, only for him. There is no going back to church. But Vanessa is going to another church, to a funeral service, to the funeral of Senator Coleman's career, because the senator resigned 3 days in a row, to avoid public condemnation. Vanessa doesn't stay at the funeral service. But does she want to see her father? Senator Coleman sits in the darkest corner of the couch. Old, broken. unrecognizable. "You couldn't have done this," Senator Coleman said upon seeing his daughter. Her voice wasn't a voice. It was a whisper, a muffled scream. Vanessa didn't sit down. She stood. "I did it." "You've ruined Gregory," said Senator Coleman. "Gregory ruined himself," Vanessa said. "And you ruined yourself too." Senator Coleman's eyes closed. "You've ruined your family name." Vanessa spoke, her heart heavy. "His name is what you've been ruining for years." "I just have to stop it." Senator Coleman's mouth dropped open. He was about to say something, but no sound came out. Because his daughter is right. Because the senator knows it. Because does the truth ever tremble? Vanessa died of heart failure. She never saw her father again. Senator Coleman went to jail. But Vanessa went on with her life. Initially, it was treated as if there were no problems. It was thought that everything was temporary. This belief delayed intervention. As time went on, the situation worsened. Some warning signs were ignored. This neglect allowed the situation to escalate. It was no longer a simple matter. What had happened required a new assessment. The old methods were not working, and a different approach had become inevitable. It's the weekend. Vanessa has come to Jasmine's house. Jasmine is in the kitchen making a cake. Isabella is in the living room painting. Pink, yellow, blue, Jasmine said, offering Vanessa a piece of cake. "One more year. Maybe 2. Vanessa's eyes welled up with tears. "This is too short," Jasmine said. "But it's better than being hidden for 9 years. Now it's open. Now it's known. Isabella knows how many lies they told her about her father. Maybe when she grows up, she'll suffer less." Isabella's laughter echoed through the kitchen. The child was happy playing with the colors. Because now her father was no longer hiding her. He had been caught by justice. Outside, Marcus is waiting for Vanessa's new car. Vanessa's choice, a simple Honda. Not one of the senator's decorative cars. A real car, a working car. "What are you going to do?" Marcus asked when Vanessa came to the door. Vanessa paused for a moment, lost in thought. For the first time, she had a real answer to this question. Vanessa said, "In my own name. By my own decision, not in my father's name. Not with Gregory's lies." Marcus nodded. "Good." Before getting into the car, Vanessa turned back to Jasmine. "You'll have to go to court," she said. "You'll have to testify. You'll have to tell them that Gregory lied to you." Jasmine held Vanessa's hand. "Yes, I will. Because now I have no reason to stay silent. Even if I'm sick, I can speak." The trial began 6 months later. Gregory Hayes never glanced at Vanessa. Senator Coleman wasn't in the courtroom. He was being prosecuted himself. In another room, another judge, another reality. Vanessa is seated in the witness booth. The lawyer has asked questions. "When did you learn about Senator Coleman's money laundering activities?" Vanessa said. Her voice was calm, controlled. "The driver Marcus told me. Then Jasmine Hayes told me, Gregory's wife. The legal system is in shock. Expectations have been shattered. Because Vanessa Coleman is the senator's daughter, and she's testifying against her father. How often does that happen? Never. Gregory's lawyer had Vanessa crucified. Gregory Hayes never harmed you. If you're going to convict him now, isn't that personal revenge?" Vanessa's eyes met the lawyer's. Personal revenge would have been to take the ring off, right? Then and there. But I'm telling the truth. The documents are real. The messages are real. Jasmine's 9 years, it's real. The prosecutor did not smile. But there was triumph in his eyes. Senator Coleman was sentenced to prison 6 months later. Gregory Hayes, 4 years. Both will serve their sentences. But justice is not just punishment. Justice is the truth speaking. Vanessa walked out of the law building. The media was everywhere. "Vanessa, how do you feel about your father? What did you think when you saw your father being convicted?" Vanessa didn't answer. The cameras kept asking. But Vanessa no longer had to answer. Because she spoke, because the truth was told. A year later, Vanessa is teaching at the college library. The college isn't in the same city. Another city, new life, new name actually. Vanessa, not Coleman, Vanessa, Hart, new identity. One day, a girl came to Vanessa's table. Brown eyes. Black hair, young, 17. "You Vanessa, are you Coleman?" The girl asked. Vanessa's heart ached. But she remained calm. "Not anymore." "But you were," the girl said. "The senator's daughter, my father's friend, my father Gregory Hayes." Vanessa gasped. Was this girl another of Gregory's daughters? How many more did he have? "My name is Sophie," the girl said. Isabella's sister. My father had a child with another woman without my knowledge. I mean, I'm just learning things about my father. And you stopped it. You dared to do it. Vanessa had been expecting this sentence. Thank you, Sophie said. Because thanks to this, I know who my father was. I know how I was lied to. Maybe another lie that I won't be a part of. Vanessa is Sophie's perspective. This girl is not a victim. This girl is conscious. She is educated. She is not the senator's daughter, because her father is no longer a senator. But who is her father? A human. That's great, Vanessa said. Knowledge is sometimes the most important weapon. Sophie shook her head. She turned to leave, but stopped. Isabella is fine. Her mother is fine. The doctor said she can keep her for another year. Maybe. Vanessa's eyes filled with tears. I know. Are you all right? Sophie asked. Vanessa took a deep breath. Yes, I'm fine now. At night, Vanessa watches the lights of Miami from her window. The city is still bright, still beautiful, but Vanessa is no longer naive. Beneath the lights there is so much darkness, so many secrets. But Marcus knows, Jasmine knows, Vanessa knows, and Sophie now knows. Because the truth can never remain completely buried. Someone just has to open the door. Vanessa. Coleman was forced to hide in the trunk of a car on the morning of his wedding. But in doing so, a family's system of lies was exposed. The senator's crime was revealed. Gregory's multiple lives were revealed, and the pain of 9 years was finally spoken aloud. The result is not just imprisonment. The result is a daughter learning the truth about her father. The result is a spouse receiving justice after 9 years. The result is a child understanding that there is no hiding. In the streets of Miami, no one recognizes Vanessa, because she's no longer a bride. She's no longer a child. She's a witness. She's a survivor. She's strong. Vanessa's phone rang. It was a message from Jasmine. Today is Isabella's first day of school. The teacher asked me, where is her father? And I said, in prison. But Isabella is free. The girl laughed. The little girl laughed. Because now it's not hidden. It's open. It's real. And it's all thanks to you. Vanessa wiped the phone clean and put it down. And she fell asleep. For the first time since her wedding morning, she slept soundly. Because the truth has spoken, and the truth will not give up now. I didn't expect everything to become clear immediately after what happened, because some things take time to understand. It wasn't possible to summarize everything in a single sentence. Not every detail makes sense at the same time. That's why I chose not to jump to conclusions. It was necessary to look at what remained with a calmer eye. Some points were discussed openly. Others were understood silently. This silence spoke volumes. The traces of what happened were more lasting than words. As time passed, these traces became clearer. I realized how the events affected me. I no longer approached things the way I used to. This change wasn't sudden. It happened slowly and imperceptibly. Not every story ends with a definitive conclusion. Some just stop at a certain point. This story stopped there, without clarity, but without losing its meaning.